Hey everybody, thanks for checking out my first video on YouTube. My name's Harry Tobin. I run the pages for Cascade Critters, including a YouTube page, an Instagram page, our website, all that good stuff. Our website hasn't gone officially live yet, but we will be going live in the next few weeks. I will be selling a bunch of reptile products on there, and eventually when I start producing my own reptiles, I will be selling them on there as well. I'm hoping to get started selling on websites such as Morph Market, through Instagram, all that good stuff. I'm super excited and enthusiastic about breeding reptiles and just being in the reptile industry in general. I've been a reptile enthusiast pretty much my entire life. I got my first reptile when I was 9 years old, and I still own her. She is now, I guess, 11, so that's how long I've owned reptiles for. The past 2 years, I've kind of been growing my collection quite a bit. I went from having a leopard gecko and a crested gecko to now owning over 12 snakes, I believe. I have 5 crested geckos now. I have a leopard gecko still, obviously, a frog, a bunch of stuff, and I'm super excited about making new combos and producing my own reptiles. We just had our first eggs, Crescent Gecko eggs, a few weeks ago. I'm excited to see those hatch. I'm just excited for everything, you know. It's super exciting to see all the other breeders cutting their eggs, seeing what they've created, seeing all this exciting, amazing stuff happening. You know, I never knew coming into this industry, especially just owning one leopard gecko, that you can create all these crazy mutations and morphs. You know, it's just amazing. The color patterns and you know, what you can do with different snakes and different geckos, and you know, just so much stuff. So yeah, enjoy this video. This video is just pretty much a room tour, a reptile room tour, and just kind of talking about my reptiles and what brought me to the hobby, you know, a few stories. So I hope you enjoy this video, and let's get it started. So the first thing I'd like to show all of you is my ball python rack. These are just a few of my ball pythons. These are pretty much all my adults. I have one sub-adult, which is just a normal ball python. He's about 1.5 years old now, so he's almost full grown, but you know, not quite there yet. I also have a few other ball pythons just around the room in different tubs and setups, and I will be showing you those later. So let's get started in showing you my ball pythons. So my first one is, I have named her Butterfingers. She's a butter pastel. Right now, I believe she's ovulating, just because she's such big in size. Like, if you compare her to my hand, you know, she's very big. That's why I don't want to pick her up really right now. She just shed, so I'm hoping that's what her prelay shed is, but you know, I've never done this before, so I don't exactly know what I'm looking for, but from what I have seen, you know, she's looking pretty good. So that's Butterfingers, Butter Pastel. Very beautiful snake. My next one is my Spider Pastel. Well, yeah, my Spider Pastel. So Bumblebee, female. She's just a beautiful snake. I bred her with one of my other snakes this year, my Banana Enchi, but you know, I don't really know. She looks thicker than she was earlier in the year, but you know, I have no idea. Very little wobble to her. Very good snake. And like, back in your tongue. You know, she's a great snake. In terms of eating, she gets food aggressive, So quite often when I'm going to feed, she'll like literally lunge out of the tub, and due to her being spider, you know, she has a little bit of a hard time striking the prey just because she gets so excited about it. So that's the only thing about her, but you know, what can you do? My ball python is my super pastel male. This was my girlfriend's first snake, and she's just in love with him. He is probably one of our friendliest snakes. We've never had him strike or do anything like that. He's just so tame, puppy dog tame. So that's him. Name's Alfred. This is our next snake. This is probably one of my favorites personally. This is our banana enchi. But you know, you can see just how high the oranges are. Very nice yellowing. A few spots due to the banana, obviously. But I mean, just look at those bands of yellow and orange. So I bred him with the spider pastel. So if we do get eggs, I would be hoping for a banana enchi spider pastel. The last snake in our reptile rack, he's just a normal male ball python. He was my first ever ball python. I got him about 1.5 years ago, I think. And you know, nothing really special to him. His pattern's a little bit different than some normals, but you know, it's just a pretty snake. I think everybody really has to have a normal in their collection to be called a snake collector, or have a snake collection. You have to have a normal. Not het or anything, not anything special, just normal. But you know, he has that nut. You see that kind of not rainbowy, but just came out of shed, so a bluish tinge to him. Alright, so now I'm going to show you, this is kind of like our smaller species shelf. Although we do have one ball python on here, but it is just a juvenile. She's a few months old now. So this is Cleo. She is a cinnamon butter, possibly pastel as well. She is just so pretty. I mean, look at those yellows. So, can't wait till she grows up. Her mom is actually Butterfingers, my butter pastel. We bought her from the same breeder. I guess he just wanted to get rid of the butter pastel because he didn't have any plans for it in the future. In these two tanks, actually in all three of these tanks, I have sandboas. These two ones, I have a female rough scale sandboa and a male rough scale sandboa. In there, I have a Kenyan sandboa. Well, the two down there are like sub-adults. They're almost ready to breed. The one up there is, yeah, like super small. I think he's only like maybe 50 grams. So we've only had them for a little bit. I'm not going to take them out just because they're in their substrate hiding. It's just like a lot of work. The next snake I have is named Peach. She's an anathuristic corn snake. I got her probably 1 year ago. We don't have... She doesn't really like to be handled, as you can see. She's kind of flighty. But, you know, she's not bad. super pretty. No, her colors are just wow. When we got her, I guess whoever had her previously paired her with something, and then no eggs or whatever came out, so they wanted to sell her because they're like, oh well, she can't breed, so we don't really want her. So we took her, and like probably 2 or 3 months into owning her, she laid a clutch of eggs, and then a week later she laid another clutch of eggs. So in total she laid like something, because I think the first clutch was like around 20 eggs. It was a huge clutch. And so yeah, it was kind of weird, but they were all infertile, so nothing happened with it. The next snake I have, his name is Timon. He is just a Mojave, however you want to pronounce it. He's just over 500 grams, so I mean we could start breeding him somewhat soon. But we picked him up. I thought his colors were super pretty, so I was just like, yeah, we need to get him. Super clean. I don't know. I just like him. Yeah. So that's all the ball pythons. Actually, that's all the snakes that we have. So that's pretty much all the snakes. We have 5 ball pythons there. The 4 sand boas, down there at the bottom. We have another juvenile ball python, horn snake, and then we have our other ball python over here, which I think I'm gonna get another rack soon. I'm just kind of waiting to see what I want to buy, because I'm trying to decide if I want an ARS rack, one from Cornell's World, or just like one from someone else. I don't know. I haven't really decided on who I want to buy yet. So this is our Crescent Gecko, one of our Crescent Gecko tanks. This is a 36 by 18 by 24 tank. Right now we have, I think we have 4 Crested Geckos. Yeah, we have 4 Crested Geckos in that one, and then we have a second one over there with 1 Crested Gecko in it, and then we have 3 of the 18 by 18 by 12 Exoteras, as well as we have 1 18 by 18 by 12 Exotera at the top, along with an 18 by 18 by 18, I believe. It's kind of dirty right now. There's nothing in it. I did have a Crusty in it, but then I moved him to the bigger tank because he got big enough to move into it. So, let me just turn on the lights and the Reptifogger, because I wanted to show you guys how cool it looks. Okay, so this is our Crested Gecko tank. As you can see, live plants, totally bioactive. I have a Reptifogger going, but we also mist it down, like usually once a day, sometimes twice a day, just depends. The Reptifogger doesn't really help a lot with like giving them a lot of water, so I usually give them like at least a couple dishes of water, a food dish, and I'll try and include a calcium disc, because I believe that it does help get more calcium into the eggs. So, you know, if you give your gecko an actual dish of calcium, they'll actually like eat it. So it's way better for the eggs, and they'll get way healthier eggs. So these are a few of my Crested Geckos. This is the first one. Her name is Gidget. This is our female. She just laid 2 eggs for us a few weeks ago, and so those are just incubating now. have another one. This one is just my like red stripe Dalmatian. Let me see if I can put him in the light so you can see him better. See, he has a couple Dalmatian spots, not too many, but you know, I picked him up. I thought he was a really nice color, so. This is my male that I have right now. Sorry. That one is a female, not a male. All the ones I only have one male in this tank, and you should not put males Crested Geckos together. That's why I have the second tank, because that is a male in that other one. So there's 3 females in this one and 1 male right now. This is the male. He's really fired up right now, but he's like a half pinstripe, fire. I don't know if he's Harley Quinn or not. I'm not too great with Crescent Gecko morphs. Oh, I think he's ready to jump. I think he's gonna go for a jump. Come on, do the jump. Do the jump. Do the jump. Can I jump? He looks like he wants to. You gonna do the jump? Oh, there he goes. So, peekaboo! Let's go up there. They're pretty active right now, actually. I think it's because it's like 8 o'clock at night. Anyways, so that's that tank. All live plants in it. I also have isopods as well as springtails in it, just to help with the poop and stuff. I do kind of spot clean it sometimes, but a lot of the time I'll just leave the poop in the bottom because the isopods will eat it up. And like any dead leaves or whatever, I'll just leave in the bottom because the isopods will definitely eat those. Oh, and I should mention too, like, these are all custom enclosures. Like, that back part is all foamed in and everything. I have custom made all that. So that took quite a bit of work. Okay, so this is my second, technically my second Crested Gecko tank, but I have a lot of Crested Gecko tanks that are just like extra for when I have babies and such. So, this is all custom made and everything. There's like 2 little ledges there, a ledge at the top which is magnetic, and it's really cool. I love how I installed the Reptile fogger on this one, because like it comes out of the tree and like comes out different spots, so it gives it like a really cool look. My kind of thought on this was like it kind of looks like a tree. Like if you can see in the back, I put a piece of cork bark like in the back so that it looks like a tree, and then kind of the ledges coming out were kind of like arms of the tree, and then I kind of put a few branches in there so it kind of looks like a tree. Not really, but kind of. So those are my Crested Geckos. I don't think there was one that I don't think I showed you, which was my Super Dalmatian, just because he always likes to hide. There's a lot of different hidey holes in... Uh-oh.
Look who we have. We have a cat.
She interrupted. Anyways, there's a lot of like little hidey holes in that tank that I have made just so they feel more secure and they can like get away if they need to. I mean, it's a huge tank, so there's lots of space for them. So this is my next animal. This is the oldest reptile in this room. Her name is Karen, and she's my leopard gecko. so cute. Whoa, come here. My camera malfunctioned. So as I was saying, this is my leopard gecko. Her name is Karen, and I believe she's around 11 years old. Can't exactly remember how old I was when I got her, but she's just such a good girl. I mean, most leopard geckos are super friendly, but as you can see, Peach likes to come out and just say hi. She likes to stick her tongue out and pretend like I have food for her when I really don't. She's always like, give me food please, I think you have food. Actually, let me open it and just like see. Because what she'll do, she'll pretend like she wants to hang out with you. And then you go in her cage and she's like, nope. So, okay. The last reptile that I have to show you is my giant African Pixie Frog. Most people just call them Pixie Frogs. I think the actual name for them is giant African bullfrog or something like that. I just call him, my Pixie Frog. Her name is Jabba, like Jabba the Hutt. Most people name their Pixie Frogs that, I know, lame, but you know, that was the choice I made. I thought it was a suiting name. So, it's usually in this back corner. Yeah, he's burrowed. I haven't handled him in a while, so jeez, it's grown since the last time I handled him. So, that's my giant frog. My giant Pixie Frog. They will get bigger than this. I've read places that they've gotten the size of dinner plates, which is just crazy to think about. I believe there's a photo on my Instagram of it when I first got it, which was like 6 months ago, which is crazy to think about. And he's feeding on mealworms, superworms, crickets, and then I also usually will give him like a pinky or a few pinkies, just depending on if others eat or not, because sometimes the sand boas can be picky. So if the sand boas don't eat, then I will just feed him their meal, because he'll always eat it. He'll never refuse a meal. And let's just go into the light and get a nice photo. Wow, so pretty. And then we have a catto. So we'll put him back. And it's kind of hard to see, so I'm gonna get the light. But their setup is pretty simple. I just have like a half. I don't even know what you call those, like wood halves, ledges things. I don't know, like I'll show you. Like one of those. It's like a hide, and then just a piece of wood and a water bowl, and you're set to go. Like super simple setup. I think this is like a probably 15 or 20 gallon tank, but like the surface area on the bottom is equivalent to like a 10 gallon or 15 gallon. So and they can live in that pretty much their entire lives with no problem. I mean, if they got the size of a dinner plate, you might want to think about giving them a little bit of an upgrade, just so they have a little bit more space. But pretty much, if I want to go and find him, I know he's in that corner, because that's where he spends all of his time. They don't do much. That's how they get so fat. And, that's pretty much our reptile room. Other than our snakeskin chandelier. Yeah. Great. I don't know how I feel about it. Comment in the comment section down below how you feel about our snakeskin chandelier. I mean, it's kind of ugly, but I'm pretty... Other than the small snakes, I think that's one of every single one of our snakes, or like multiple sheds of one of our snakes. But you can just see like how good our snakes shed. And then eventually, cross your fingers, this will be our incubation fridge, I guess you want to call it. Incubator. Focus. Come on. I love it. I absolutely love it. I bought it off another snake breeder, and I think he said he only incubated like one clutch in it, so it's pretty much brand new. And you know, I'm just love it. The light is awesome. It fits really well in our room. It just goes with everything. So I'm super happy with that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys liked that video. If you did, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm going to be trying to post more videos on here. For a few months I've been debating trying to do YouTube or not, just because I've never really done this, and I don't know, being in front of a camera and stuff kind of makes me shy. Even though, I don't know, I don't think I'm that shy, but I don't know, this video seemed like it went okay. So if you thought it was good, leave me a thumbs up. It will definitely make me feel better about it, and probably will push me to make more videos. I love talking about reptiles. I'm so passionate about it. Like, I could just talk about reptiles and talk about this hobby all day long. Not saying that I know well, I know some stuff, but compared to some people in this industry, I know nothing. You know, I'm not brand new to this, but in comparison to a lot of breeders out there and a lot of people, I know absolutely nothing. So there's a lot that I have to learn, and there's a lot I have to grow, but that's why we make videos like this, so that people who don't know as much as us can learn from us, and people who know more than us, we can learn from them in videos like this. So you know, I would love to get to the point where I could tell people what to do with this, what to do with this. And there's some things like with basic care and stuff, you know, I know how to do that, but with these videos it's more just, I want to show people how I do my setup and how, show people what works for me, and then, you know, they can make a judgment off that and see what works for them, because, you know, there's 20 different ways to do something, and 10 of those ways are probably wrong, and 10 of them is probably right. So, you know, when listening to people's advice and what they tell you, take it with a grain of salt and go listen to what other people have to say, and find a middle ground in terms of what works for you. I think if you're super passionate about this industry and you like reptiles, you like snakes, you know, keep doing it. Stick with it. Don't get frustrated when people get you down, when people tell you you're doing something wrong, because a lot of the time people that tell you you're doing something wrong don't know themselves, and maybe people who tell you that you are doing something wrong do know something, and you should listen to them and, you know, ask them, you know, what am I doing wrong? How can I make this better? Don't just throw them under the bus and say, you know, I'm right about everything, because, you know, we all have room to grow. We all have things that we can learn from other people, whether big or small. You know, I have little tips here, little tips there, big breeder, little breeder. All of us can contribute to this reptile industry and make it an awesome place, because, you know, that's one thing that I have got super frustrated about, is seeing so much negativity towards people just in general. Like, you know, sure, someone may be wrong, but that doesn't mean you have to go and criticize them and say they're so terrible because they did this. You know, try and say it in a way that is constructive and not just so mean towards them, because why would someone want to listen to you if you are just so belligerent towards them and just saying, you're so wrong, you suck at this? Because, you know, they could be a year into this, they could be 2 days into this and not know anything. They could get all their information from Petco or PetSmart and think that the pet store is right, you know? So, I mean, if you've tried to tell someone in a nice way and they're just saying, I'm right, you know, just move on from it. You know, don't get all frustrated about it, don't get all mad. You know, it's not worth losing sleep over it, but we can all learn from each other in this industry, and it's I think one thing I want to make my channel about is that, you know, it's a community that we all can support and uplift each other and not just get each other down and say this person's wrong, this person's wrong. You know, I'm gonna make mistakes too. We all make mistakes. You know, the best breeders make mistakes. You know, that's how it goes sometimes. And you know, we're always striving to do better. That's one of the things that I think is really important. Always strive to do better. Even if you think you're the best, strive to do better. Because even if you think you're at your best, if you think you can do better, if you do better than your best, you know, how do you can't compete with that, you know. That's your top best. I think that's all I have to say. Make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe, please. You know, it will help me make more videos because I'll feel better about these videos. I will think, you know, people actually want to watch these. Yeah, follow our Instagram at Cascade Critters, and our website should be out soon, so check that out. It will be www.cascadecritters.com. So pretty much everything Cascade Critters. That's all you need to know. Thank you guys, and thanks for the support. See you next time.